why do kids actually play sports?
Why do they originally want to?
And it sounds so simple, but they don't play to win. Mm-hmm. They don't. All of us are like so all of us parents are hyper focused on, did they win that game or not? How many points did they score? Like, we're so hyper focused on it, and we can almost feel like it was a failed day if they don't win or if this, and
Hello, everyone. We are Greg and Jacquie Francis, and welcome to High Performance Parenting, where our passionate goal is to encourage you to raise champion children in a crazy world. Every week, we will bring you multiple episodes from our extensive experience of raising our six happy, healthy, successful, godly kids who are confidently equipped to win big in life.
We deeply believe that any parent who is provided with the right knowledge and continual support can raise amazing kids. And when they do, all of our futures get better. If raising up future generations of absolute champions matters to you as much as it does to us, here's how you can contribute. Like and share this podcast with everyone you know. And together, let's embrace this journey of raising champion kids in a crazy world.
you're up.
Oh, no. Rock, paper, scissors. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. Super excited to be with you guys today. Greg and I are sitting here and just thinking things through. What a busy week it feels. We were just talking about this the other day. What a crazy week it's been. It really, I don't know. It feels like January flew by. Mm-hmm. It's like gone, and we're already like into February, and it's so crazy how the new year goes by so quickly.
Can you turn your alarm off your phone? We're just going to keep going.
Well, it was it was time
I
to start.
would like to make note that was not my phone.
I did a do not disturb.
Uh-huh.
I did. I don't know.
And then set an alarm to disturb us.
Okay, so back up. Last night, typically we like to podcast at like a certain time every Wednesday morning, okay? Mm-hmm. So it was at 9 a.m. We decided last minute to turn it to 9:30 a.m. instead of 9. We usually take about an hour to podcast. And so at 10, I thought we'd be done, and it was an alarm for me to get something done. And I thought we were going to be done podcasting.
That's a very lengthy explanation.
That's what happened.
Okay. Do you feel justified now for interrupting our podcast video?
I'm taking after you.
I have a question for you. Did you hear the police outside?
No.
I heard that the police arrested a turkey. You know why? Because they suspected foul play.
I did see turkeys outside when I was driving last week.
See?
I
That's
did.
what happened.
And I was thinking about this one time when we would always see turkeys in Wisconsin. Remember that? Like, we would always see them by the farmers and stuff like that. And you started telling the kids, should we start getting one for Thanksgiving? The kids were so young. And they would believe anything Greg said. And they'd be like, what? He'd be like, and then we'd be driving down like a road and he'd see like, I don't know, 3 or 4 of them. And we're, oh, okay, guys, I'm going to stop. You jump out so-and-so. Do you remember that? I'd be sitting there and they'd be like, I don't think so, Dad. I'm not ready.
I'm not ready.
And I'd be like, why don't you show them how bad? No, that's not the right one. Let's keep going. I'm like, you're such a silly person with the kids.
Oh, that's funny. We should try to catch some turkeys.
I mean, I think the kids could. I mean, remember when they had to grab all those chickens we had?
Oh, yeah.
And throw them in. Remember the one time Drew's had to get the rooster?
Oh, yeah.
And
he climbed right in that pen. And
I mean, Greg's job was just to shut the gate that Drew's put the rooster in.
That's such a good video that we got.
And Greg was a little shocked, to be honest with you. He had some stick thing to try to supposedly help and remove. I'm not sure what the stick was doing because it was kind of flopping around. And you sent your son in there, who was how old at the time?
Oh, I don't know. What was he? Probably.
I mean, he was young, hon. Like,
8?
Yeah.
Maybe.
To grab this turkey that was, rooster. That was mean.
He was mean.
Beating up on our chickens. And Trucy goes, I got it. Open the gate. Greg was like, oh.
I didn't expect him to go in there and just like start snatching that guy
by the
butt tails, and he comes up and he grabs it by the neck. This thing's just going crazy, and I'm just like,
I'm gonna send the video out.
Right,
I think we're gonna do it for our Throwback Thursday. If anybody's not following us, the kids and I are doing this website called the Francis Family Life.
Well, it's Instagram.
It's on Instagram.
Francis Family Life. Yeah.
It's hilarious. The kids bring out the funniest videos I think for throwback, we're going to have to do that time because not only
The rooster catching.
Because Drew's is beyond brave. Like we are.
He was surprisingly brave.
But the best part is Greg like, oh.
I really didn't expect that kind of bravery, to be honest with you. It kind of threw me. I for sure ended up being the weaker link in that transaction.
And then Drew's just telling you, gosh, this thing's heavy, Dad. Can you pick it up? You're like, yeah.
I can do that part.
I got you, buddy. You're 8.
I can carry it in the crate.
Yeah. You're 8, buddy. Yeah, that's a little big for you. Like, and then a couple years later, we sold all of our chickens. Remember that?
Yeah.
And they were laying.
Well, we were moving.
Yeah, we couldn't take them with us, in our van.
We spent all this time raising these darn chickens, and
they were laying eggs and everything.
Right at the time, because it's like months and months you take care of these darn things before they start producing. And right when they start producing, we're like, we're moving, and we gave our chickens to somebody
across the country. I mean, not just moving up the street. So this family came an hour away to get these chickens that were laying eggs. I mean, they were good at chickens. And Greg sent all the kids in to get all the chickens out and put them in kind of like dog crates so these people could take them home. And the people were kind of like, oh, how are we going to get the chickens? And Greg's like, hold on, I got an idea. Kids, come on over. You remember that?
Yeah. And they were newbies, so they were just like all like sensitive, thinking these are little, pets or something. And our kids were just grabbing them by the necks and yanking them over here.
Even Ellie. Ellie was little at the time.
Yeah, they took turns. They all wanted to grab a chicken.
They each grabbed 2. Yeah. And threw them in there. There was 10 chickens, and Ellie was 6 at the time.
Okay, we spent half this podcast on what chicken chasing.
I'm gonna have to put it on Throwback Thursday.
So let's talk a little bit about some of the stuff we've been working on right now with teaching our kids about responsibility in busy seasons, because anybody that follows our podcast, and I know there's a number of people that follow it really consistently.
Yeah.
I was actually just in Michigan, and I had a friend of mine actually give me a ride to go see. We had to go to a funeral, and he was going to be my Uber, and he's a single guy, and shout out by the way to Stavro, and he said, and he's like, I've never missed an episode, and he's having conversations with me like we've been living in the same house together almost, because he just so pays attention, to it. And he said, I'm single, I don't have kids, but your podcast is about so much more than just raising kids. It's just about life. It's about life principles that you apply in your family. And I was just like, yeah, I appreciate that compliment, And so anyway, shout out Stavro, you're the man. Mm-hmm. But let's talk about this, because we are pretty big on allowing our kids to enjoy sports and activities that we know not only will be fun for them, but also will serve a purpose for them. But it all has to get balanced within the within everyday life as well. So you want to speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, we were just talking about this week as we got on. I was saying what a busy week it's been, and everybody's busy. Actually, I hate the term busy. Yeah. I was just talking to you about this last week. We have to be so careful because everybody's life, quote unquote, is busy, but we choose to add things to our calendars that we want to move ourselves forward in. Some things for fun, some things for business, some things for family time, sometimes for connection for you and I, some faith building things. And so our calendars get filled up very quickly.
Yeah.
And all those things are important. All of it. You need to have a well-rounded life. You know what I mean? I think going too far in any area will stress you out and you won't enjoy your life. Mm-hmm. Hence, that's kind of our whole thought process a little bit, even with sports for our kids. We love sports. Greg and I have played sports not only as young people in our own life, but even as adults. We love competition in the most healthy way, and I think we've talked about that sometimes. But we love our kids to be in a variety of sports, even. We haven't honed down on just one. We feel like they're young and they get the opportunity. We can afford for them to play multiple sports throughout the season. But with that comes responsibility to get things done around the house, because some of our kids are playing 3 sports within a year.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about sports for a second, because I think it's a really powerful topic. Mm-hmm. And, we read that book, Changing the Game.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
It's a really good book, because any of you out there, the parents that are putting your kids through sports, I would highly recommend this book called Changing the Game, because it goes into the pressures that can come with youth sports from every direction, from kids on themselves, from parents, and what we think we should be the balance of trying to push our kids to be good at something versus just letting them have fun. And what does that look like? And what is your philosophy? And sometimes even the pressure of, can I get them good enough or then get a college scholarship, and or even go beyond that. And then what about, how do you decide what's a healthy coach for your kids in different teams? And it's really good. Like, I mean, I feel like we have a pretty good philosophy, but I learned a lot from that book.
Oh, yeah.
And
I feel like they kind of put into words what we kind of knew, and then kind of backed us on a few things we need to change.
Yeah, it was, there's a couple concepts in there that are really key. Like, one, just the remembrance of, why do kids actually play sports?
Why do they originally want to?
And it sounds so simple, but they don't play to win. They don't. All of us are like so all of us parents are hyper focused on, did they win that game or not? How many points did they score? Like, we're so hyper focused on it, and we can almost feel like it was a failed day if they don't win, or if this, and I get it. We should all be striving to win at whatever we're doing, but at the same time, that's not why kids play originally. They play for relationship. They play for fun. They play for, just being able to enjoy themselves.
And to be seen. I mean, I have an example about that. So I think it was last year, Drew and Ellie decided they wanted to do track and field in the spring. The year before that, we did tennis with them, but they're in middle school, and they came to us and they were like, hey, how about some track and field? Like, mom and dad. And, kind of were like, why not? If you want to try that, sounds like fun, So we signed them all up, and they start practicing, and they have the hurdles, and they have all the different activities they have to do, the whatever 100-mile, all the things, right? And we go to the very first one, and it starts at I'm going to say 4:30 after school. And I'm not even exaggerating, did not end till close to 9 p.m.
Yeah.
And it was dark, and it was cold at that point. And I remember...
Yeah, the kids are in little track outfits,
They're in track outfits. We're all sitting on the benches of a football arena, in the track's all in front of us. We can't interact with our kid while they're on the actual track. Yeah. They kind of call them out after being warmed up for one activity, and then their next activity is an hour later type thing. Moral of the story is, we kind of get there and we're missing half of what they're doing because we're trying to run to see other kids do other activities. And at the end of it, I remember Drew saying to me, he's like, Mom, this is the silliest sport ever. And I'm like, oh yeah, how come?
This kid loves every sport. So
he will do any sport. I go, wow. He's like, besides it being cold, he's like, what are we doing? Nobody can even see us out there. What are we performing for? And I'm like, wow. You want mom and dad to see you.
That's
you want
right.
us to see you have fun. You're not having fun.
Yeah.
You're not having, you're cold.
Yeah, and it was example of a sport where I think it's a school that's grown so much, and they, for whatever reason at that level, kind of accept anyone into the program, but it's not really even smart to do so. I understand what they're doing. They're trying to accommodate people that want to play, and because otherwise in other sports they don't necessarily do that. But at the same time, you got to have it caught up at some point, because it's just a circus out there. So
and he was so I don't want to. This is fun.
So a big part of it, they want to have fun. They want to be seen. And then for us as parents, you have to decide, what do we want for them? And we want them to learn life skills. That's probably the biggest thing. We want them to enjoy this season, which is how do you actually strategize developing yourself to position yourself to win? To be able to be better every year, to make different cuts, to how do you feel the pain of some losses or getting cut, and then use it as fuel to get better at something? How do you learn how to be a leader in a room of peer pressure, right? There's so many life lessons that happen that I think carry into your next seasons of life. But we've never had the philosophy of, we can't wait to get them in college, mostly just because we just aren't college people. You know what I mean?
Although the girls are trying to talk us into playing tennis at the local college here.
I told them they can play for Boise State, but I'll convince the school to let you be homeschool college kids, which they will. For sure.
Oh, the girls are already like, oh, that's great. I'd love to go into interior decorating.
I don't want them learning anything there, but that I have to undo.
No, they would want to pick fun things. Like I said, they were like, ooh, interior decorating sounds fun. Or, you know what I mean? Like all these fun things. And I was like, that's such a girl topic. Go for it. You know?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. But anyway, so it's really important for all of you parents out there. I really, you know, you and I, all the coaching that we do, we've been talking a lot about marriage lately just because, you know, we have some of our clients are about to be married, and we've been kind of almost helping them with what our version of premarital workshop is. And I was explaining to them how over 90% of all married couples never read one marriage book. 90%, right? What about parenting?
Yeah.
How many parents ever read a book on parenting? And if you do, what's the book? So Changing the Game, parents, for sports is the book.
Yeah, and it's not really, I feel like, just for sports. I mean, like, it was kind of like,
but
all activities.
But in particular.
Yeah.
You know, you're right.
Yeah.
Any extracurricular activities.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would get into that book. And if you're going to want to know biblical truth around discipline or discipling your kids, Train Up Your Child. That's the book there. So anyways, we'll continue next one.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening and thanks for your love and support. We hope that today's episode added tremendous value to you and your family. It would mean so much to us if you would partner with us on our mission of helping parents around the globe raise champion children in this crazy world.
To do so, simply take a moment to like and share this podcast with everyone in your network. See you next time.